All right, guys, stop what you are doing right now, as we have pretty much gotten some confirmed news slash leak of the next festival unit, and we also got some Netmarble employee drama going on as well. Like, it has been a crazy day for news right now for Grand Cross, and let's get into it. So the first thing is the crazy major news is that the next festival is leaked, and that unit will be Lancelot. Now, Lancelot, if you don't know, is Bond plus Elaine's son. Now, again, we don't know what he will be in terms of his for co-op form, which is this teen version, or will it be the movie Lancelot, where he is a kid, just like what Tristan is? We don't know for sure. But if people are wondering, this man is a human slash fairy, and if you don't know, in terms of Grand Cross, they also be adding the unknown race towards these type of characters, like we've seen with Tristan being a character who is both demon and goddess, but still getting that unknown race tag. So we are here to expect that Lancelot will also face the same situation where he'll get the unknown race tag, but and through his passive, he'd be considered a human slash fairy. So that would be really interesting to see how he'll play out, especially because we've been getting a lot of buffs towards fairy with the new LR King and possibly even the new LR Deanne. And I think also Percival also buffs up fairies as well. So it's a lot of characters that have came out that kind of helps out the fairy race. So it'll be cool to see how Lancelot will fare in terms of the meta with the new LR Milim. And again, if you don't know, the confirmed news is from Alexis. He pretty much just said it, you know, Lancelot. Again, you can take that with a grain of salt if you want to, but when Alexis says it, it's usually true. So again, let me know if you hype or excited about pretty much the new new festival being Lancelot. I'm assuming he's gonna be UR, just because again, we haven't had a UR in a while, so it'd be a great time for them to have a UR, and then they re-release Chaos Arthur, because again, usually this is the month where they release the character, the global festival again. So Arthur is gonna most likely be on his banner, making it a must summon. And again, we also have some drama with the Netmarble employee is kind of like the sound engineer or sound designer for Netmarble. We have drama with this, but we also have him pretty much answering our questions, you know, of what we always wanted to know about why Grand Cross has kind of fell off. So we're gonna go into that because we do have it on this Discord. Let me make sure I check it real quick. But yeah, we got it on Discord real quick. All right, there we go. So let's get into it. All right. So again, like I said before, this is a Netmarble employee who is the sound designer. Again, you guys can take it with a grain of salt if you think, yo, he's probably lying or anything like that. But something he's been saying is actually, like, you know, kind of makes a lot of sense. So you can see with Lance, who is on his server, his leak server and stuff like that. Someone who works at Netmarble, the audio of the game is answering questions about the game and sharing some spicy info. The upcoming collab 2025 will be bad. The hype seems to be worse than Stranger Things. Oh my god, how would it be hype worse than Stranger Things? And the upcoming collab will be releasing unknown units, most likely. Ooh, that definitely sounds crazy. Last, he's claiming the November festival will also be unknown, which again, Alexis already leaked it. It will be Lancelot, which will be unknown, but through his passive will be fairy and human. So that would be interesting. And you can see he already was talking about it. And yeah. He said, oh my god, someone asked if it was Shangri-La and he said worse. Oh my god. That's why I just leaked the race. And then again, you can see the upcoming units he probably talked about was Lancelot, which it will be the November festival. You have Tristan, which I'm assuming might be either New Year's, or they could have Arthur, which you see on the bottom, which is the 4-core Arthur, through New Year's, or maybe even global. It's all between that. You can see he's talking about it more so. Then drop the 4-core on Big Fest in December, which means, you know, it'll be probably Tristan. And then wait, they say then I can confirm. They said in April that Tristan always going to be goddess slash demons. Okay, makes sense. That will be next release of Arthur. So yeah. And then he talked about pretty much Guild Wars, and it said the devs forgot about it. So again, like, you can tell me if he's like if you don't believe it or not, but some of these things actually does make sense, you know. It says, why Netmarble release so many OCs? And he pretty much, because they are lazy and don't want to be creative, developers are bored. So yeah, Netmarble employees bored, be like, so somebody was asking them like, why is they releasing so many OCs? And I already discussed this plenty of times when it comes to the game in terms of OCs, is that if you don't know, pretty much when it comes to these characters that are from the manga or the anime and stuff like that, these devs have to do research on these characters for these different types of moves. They just don't make up the moves that the characters are doing. Sometimes they take inspiration from the anime, of course, or the manga, and kind of do their own little thing. But these are kind of moves or skills that they will be using in the game, or not in the game, in the manga or anime. So it's very hard for them to pretty much come up with, you know, animation ideas when they have to do research on these characters, while rather OCs or seasonal, they don't really have to do any research or anything like that, because these are characters that they have made themselves, so they can pretty much do whatever they want. Like if they want to do a seasonal Meliodas, they can have Meliodas shooting out a freaking rubber ducky if they really want to, right? So you can see like there's differences in terms of, you know, inspirations and stuff like that they can take from these seasonal or OCs that they don't have to really do much work for than what they would have to do if they was an actual SDS character, which is kind of crazy to think about. And again, he talked about how, you know, his work and stuff like that. Again, I don't know if he is a person who is currently working for Netmarble still, because from what I've pretty much grasped, because I was texting on the Discord thing as well, he have also did a little bit of sound design in terms of Origin as well too. So, you know, he definitely is a, you know, a reliable Netmarble employee from what it seems like. Again, you can take that with a grain of salt if you want to. Say like, yo, you're probably lying. Who knows? And then he just pretty much talked about how they confirmed that Lancelot is going to be the festival. And I'm pretty sure he said some more stuff, this Netmarble employee. Again, I'm not going to go back through his like what he been talking about, stuff like that, just because I know some things aren't as important as others. Again, he also had this one document in which he discussed his concerns for the game, which makes sense because the game has been kind of in a downward spiral. And again, from my grasp of reading this, he's just pretty much talking about how most players issues is in terms of building like newer players, right? Because it's such a gap between the veterans and the starter players that kind of makes it harder for people to want to continue playing the game when they are such a huge disadvantage against a veteran player. That makes you pretty much want to stop playing the game, because again, it's very hard for a beginning player to pretty much reach the same amount of, you know, box EC or constellation that a 4-year veteran player would have, right? And they kind of don't do anything of a system where they kind of help you kind of balance out that for a newer beginner player to kind of make it a lot easier for you to pretty much progress without having to struggle against facing off against whales and stuff like that. Like if they had some system where pretty much you have an individual PvP or something like that, where players who are beginners can actually progress, and then they have their own threshold where they are not veterans, so they don't have to deal with the 18 mil box CC people. They can deal with their own type of box CC people, and then also get the same amount of gems that they would if they would have pretty much competed against the whales, until they, you know, they can pretty much promote and graduate until their box CC is somewhat manageable. That would probably have been a lot helpful, but again, the game kind of doesn't really benefit beginners, right? And that's why a lot of people say the game is play to win, when actuality it's not play to win. It just veterans versus beginners. And even if you spend on the game, it's not gonna like decrease the gap that you have from a person who played the game for 5 years. All right, spending does not do that. That's why it's really, the game really not play to win, is experience versus the non-experience at this point. And again, he also talked about pretty much characters that have been kind of main characters or hype characters throughout the story, like archangels and stuff like that, but has not really gotten too much love or viability in PvE and PvP, which again, a lot of people pretty much discussed before. I've discussed this before, where pretty much would have been very nice for beginner players is that they actually work on these older units, because you're gonna pull a blue Demon Meliodas, you're gonna pull a blue Lilia, you're gonna pull a red Sariel, but guess what? That character or unit has already been outshined by URs, LRs, and stuff like that, kind of making that character worthless to grind out or build up. Kind of like, literally, if you see like a character that has been already outshined, are you really gonna try to build that character? No, you're not gonna try to build that character. You're gonna probably try to wait until like it's a festival and stuff like that, and then you get the more recent characters, and then that character will pretty much collect dust in your box CC if you do grind it, because most of these characters, they get outshadowed in like a month, and it becomes like pretty much dust. All right, like this new LR Milim, yeah, she might be broken, super good and stuff like that, but wait until a new UR comes out, and then this character is gonna be sitting in your box CC collecting dust afterwards, because again, she got what's it called, outpowered and stuff like that in PvP, which again is one of the huge issue with the game, is that they don't really improve on older characters like that. And even with the new LR system, or I guess you can say new LR system, they don't really make these characters really good, like what we seen at the beginning with the Lost Vein Meliodas, the LR Green Escanor, or the the Red Elizabeth. Most of these characters get like a minor adjustment, and then that's it. Like they just put like a pierce on a card or something like that, or their stats just be usable, but the character themselves doesn't have a team for it, so it's like pointless to have the LR without a team. Again, and like I said before, you can see they talking about other characters and stuff like that if you really want to read it, that are pretty much hype. He even wants R and SR units to get a little bit more viability and stuff like that. Again, it's been a long time since you've even seen like a new R and SR character. Hopefully for core they bring that back, an new SR and R unit character, and actually make them usable. And again, he also talked about PvP coin system, how that pretty much is trash, which it is. Even the one they updated it to make champion maybe like want people to go for champion, that's even trash, because everything is like super expensive. And then again, it's like really not really rewards that you really care about. It's just stuff that you can use, and then I guess you get a little bit of boost, but not really anything worthwhile. And then, you know, he also talked about the PvE content, which is surely lacking and engaging. And this is also, this sound designer guy, he also plays the game as well too. So this is him playing the game and also working for Netmarble as well too. So he knows the game itself, because he actually participated in playing it and suffering like me, okay? So he sees what I see in terms of like the PvE content being very lackluster. It's always RNG from what, I don't know why, but they literally purposely just make all the PvE content gotta rely on RNG to be hard content, when that doesn't have to happen. Like, hard content doesn't have to be the RNG fest, okay? You can make fun content without having it be like straight up RNG. And then he also talked about how fans are begging for certain fan favorite characters like Wheelchair Gother, Skinny Escanor, revamped Commandments, you know, Grey Road and stuff like that. And then he also talked about how fans are tired of seeing original characters, which I guess you can say, yeah. Again, he's just pretty much talking about him as not only a person who is the sound designer for Netmarble, but he also is talking about a person who plays the game. Okay, we all see the comments, we all know from the community, he is spitting facts about whatever. He's spitting facts about people not caring too much about OCs, which is actually like, I don't know, I never said this about this, but I'm not gonna lie to you. When Fest S Rosa, the Halloween version, came out, my views skyrocketed. I kid you not, guys. My views have skyrocketed when they release Fest S Rosa. And I think the last unit was like an OC. The OC didn't really do much, but for some reason, when I showcased Festival S Rosa, the Halloween, views went crazy. I don't know if it's because people love demons or what, but views went crazy because like people love seeing S Rosa. Again, people love seeing actual SDS character. Again, that's just from my experience. Maybe other content creators had differences, but yeah, let me know in the comments, how do you feel about the new festival and with this guy who was supposed to be supposedly the sound designer of Netmarble from stuff. Also, I forgot to mention, he did not work on Catastrophe story mode in terms of the sound. All right, he told me specifically, yo, when they told him to work on the freaking Catastrophe story in terms of sound design, he said, yo, I'm not doing that. All right, and he went to Origins instead to focus on that. So he is mostly Ragnarok and the SAS story from my experience, and a little bit of Origins. So he did not do Catastrophe. All right, I want to let it be known in case y'all want to roast him about Catastrophe. He did not do Catastrophe. But again, let me know, guys, how you feel. This really, guys, I'm out. Peace.